So today's video is extra special to me. As a leader, I've spent years working with volunteers who have given their hearts to helping children who have disabilities attend church on Sunday. But too often I've seen volunteers feeling discouraged because things didn't go the way they expected and they felt like what they did just wasn't enough. Well, this is what I want all you volunteers to know from your leaders. You are enough. You are more than enough, and what you do matters. So I hope you'll join us today as we take a look at some of the things you should learn to expect in disability ministry and what your leaders really want you to know. Oh, hey, why so blue? Oh, you just volunteered at your church as a buddy for a child who needs extra support and it didn't go so well? You hadn't expected that? And now you just know that you let everyone down? Well, how do you know that? Sometimes when we take a leap of faith and try something new, like serving in disability ministry, we think we know how things should go. And then when they don't go that way, we can feel discouraged. But what if we feel this way because we're too focused on what we expected instead of what we really needed to know? Disability inclusion and volunteers, turning discouragement into encouragement. What to expect, what to know. One of the first things you can expect is sometimes a student won't connect with the Bible lesson. But here's what you should know. Sometimes the most important thing we teach is not the lesson. Long after a student forgets what the second Egyptian plague was, she will remember how she felt at church, whether that was good or bad. And oftentimes these associated feelings will still be present when she's ready to make a decision about her faith later. So if you have a student who isn't ready to connect, especially students who aren't always accepted everywhere they go, understand that one of the most important things that they can learn is that they are cared for and safe at church. And this goes for their families too. When students, especially those who have developmental disabilities, can stay in their classroom successfully, this means that their parents and siblings can stay in their classes too. Because when we care for a student who has disabilities, we are actually caring for their whole family. And here's something else you can expect. There will be days when you have to page a parent. But here's what you should know. Paging a parent is not a failure. Here's the truth. Each of us have days where we just don't feel great and things are hard. But for most of us, we can tell people how we feel and we can choose to do the things that we can handle. But for many students who have developmental disabilities, communicating how they feel with their words is difficult, if not downright impossible. And this means that sometimes their feelings come out in behaviors. And sometimes when we serve with these students, we may not know how to make them feel better because we don't know what's really bothering them. So when this happens, sometimes the very best thing we can do is to get their parents, especially before a student's distress goes too far. Most parents welcome this because they don't want their child to be left feeling overwhelmed or to let things fester until a meltdown occurs. So paging a parent is not a failure. It's actually caring about the needs of your student. And for those times when a meltdown does happen before a parent can be paged, please know that what matters most is what happens next. So take this opportunity to treat families with compassion and talk with your ministry leaders. This will help build strong relationships between the family and the church, and that's always encouraging. And last but not least, this can be expected too. Occasionally, when a child is struggling, you will forget your training. And you may think you've let your ministry leader down. But here's what your ministry leader really wants you to know. We don't expect that you'll get it right all the time because we don't either. Leaders know that every Sunday will not be perfect, and we do not expect that volunteers will remember every piece of training they hear. But when the hard days come, here's what we really want you to know. We are not disappointed in you. We value you more than you can imagine. We are here for you, so ask us questions and ask for help. And know that the fact that you keep coming back and giving your heart to the mission, especially after a hard day, is what gives us the courage to keep coming back and giving our hearts to the mission too. What you do matters, and we appreciate you. One more thing before you go. You may never know how deep of an impact your serving has made, but God knows, because God sees the heart. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you for what you do.